Hi everyone, this is Ryan Jones and I want to welcome you to this short demonstration on the power of quantum charts. Quantum charts is the only auto trading platform that allows traders to analyze the markets, create and backtest trading systems, and doing so without any programming skills whatsoever. It's all done through a simple drag and drop process. Now before we get to the demonstration, I want to offer a challenge out there to any trader. I want you to go to any trading platform in the industry and find out the following. Is option expiration day a good day to buy or sell the S&P E-mini? And find out when you should enter and when you should exit. Now, of course, option expiration is the third Friday of every month, and this should be fairly simple to do with any of the trading platforms out there. But the truth of the matter is that unless you can program, or unless you hire a programmer to find out for you, you cannot get this information from any other trading platform. And even if you are a programmer, it will take you quite some time to figure out where you should enter and where you should exit. But what I'm about to show you is how any trader with any level of experience can access this information in a matter of seconds without ever programming a word. Now, what if I were to tell you that what I'm about to show you levels the trading field so that the average trader has instant access to valuable market information, analysis, and backtesting previously available only for advanced programmers? In a recent survey, only 15% of all traders stated that they had some basic programming knowledge. Only 5% of all traders had expert programming skills. And what this means is that 85% of all traders, including myself, don't have any programming skills whatsoever. This means that all other trading platforms that provide system development and backtesting are not for traders. They are for programmers. And what I'm about to show you is a trading platform that is for all traders, including programmers who are also traders. Now, to give you some background, back in 2006, frustrated with having to hire programmers for the most simple market analysis, I created the blueprints for a trading platform that allowed me to create strategies through a drag and drop process. Now, it was several years before I was able to move forward with this dream, but when I did, even I was blown away at the power to easily and quickly analyze the markets and create and backtest strategies. But let's get back to the option expiration day. What do you think? Do you want to buy or sell on option expiration day? Well, using quantum charts, it will take less than 10 seconds to find out. But before I show you how simple it is to create this analysis, I need to show you the analysis itself. I need to show you this just one more thing that is also not available on any other trading platform, period. This is critical information traders need, and it is only available in quantum charts. Back in the mid-1990s, I had a newsletter called the Kamikaze Trading Newsletter. And it was basically providing trading education and ideas for strategies. But in one of those newsletters, I was explaining why system and trade performance is inextricably related to market movement. In other words, if you buy and the market only moves higher by 1 point, you cannot create a system that makes more than that 1 point on the trade. In other words, market movement limits what you're able to do with any system. So here's an example, and we'll just use a Walmart chart. This example is showing a strategy that sells on the open and exits on the close, and it's using a 2-point target. Now on this particular day where you see the arrow pointing, the high was 73.87 and the low was 73.33. As you can see, the 2-point target was not going to be hit on this particular day. And in fact, based on market movement stats, we know that this 2-point target is not going to be hit very often at all. So market movement limitations also provide limitations and guidance for where you should exit. And we know that in this particular situation, a 2-point target is just simply inefficient. Now, I want you to remember that as we move forward and as I explain this more. The information you need to know as a trader before you buy or sell or set your exits is very simple. What direction does the market move? How often does it move up or down, and by how much? Quantum Charts quickly provides this information in what I call market movement stats. No other platform provides this information. So here are the three things that we're going to be looking at. We're going to look at an S&P E-mini chart, and it's a 30-minute bar chart. And Quantum Charts is going to tell us which direction the market moves, how often, and by how much. Here's a graph of exactly that information. The bar graph is the direction of the market movement based on a percentage. And on this one, it's divided into two sections. We have close higher percentage and close lower percentage. So on option expiration, this first bar is the first 30 minutes of that day. And it's telling us that the market moves down the first 30 minutes of that day 71% of the time. So if we were looking at the close higher percentage stats, we'd see that the market moves up 29% of the time during the first 30 minutes of option expiration. So each one of these bars represents a 30-minute time frame on option expiration day and going forward. So this is from 8:30 to 9 Central, and bar 2 is from 9 to 9:30 Central. Bar 3 is from 9:30 to 10 Central a.m. And bar 4 is from 10 to 10:30 a.m. Central. So you get the idea. And what this is showing is whether the market is up or down from the open of that day. And these stats show that during the first 30 minutes of option expiration, the market moves down 71% of the time. After an hour, the market is down about 64% of the time. And then after an hour and a half, it's down about 65% of the time. And then after about 2 hours, it's down 69% of the time, and it remains at 69% of the time that the market is down for the next hour and a half or so. So this is about a 2.5 to 3 hour period in the S&P E-mini on option expiration day. And it's basically telling you that in the morning, the market is generally down. So guess what we want to do? We quickly and easily know that we want to be a seller on option expiration day on the open. But by how much? Where do we place our targets? Where do we place our stops? How much is available from a net profit standpoint? And that's what this green line is. This green line represents the average net profit available during this same time period. So this includes losses. This green line includes losses. And so what it's saying is if you sell on option expiration day at the open and you hold on for about 2.5 hours, 2.5 to 3 hours, you're going to have the potential for about 2.25 points profit on average every single trade, inclusive of losses. So this is a net. Now, what happens if you hold on to the trade? Does your profit potential go up? And the answer is it does. First it goes down a little bit, then it goes up a little bit more, and then it goes down even more in the afternoon. And so what this is telling you is that you really don't want to hang on to the trade for very much longer. About 2.5 to 3 hours is about the maximum you want to hold on to the trade. And then there are some other stats that let you know about where the target and where the stop loss should be based on this if you want to use a target and a stop loss. So this is these are very detailed statistics. This is going back from 1997 all the way to 2009. And it's very, very useful, very, very valuable statistics. And this is what happens. This is what you get, this information, instantly when you use quantum charts. Here's what the statistics look like in the table. You can see that we have close lower stats. And we can see that bar 1, that's a 30-minute bar chart. So that's 30 minutes into option expiration day. Close lower was 71% of the time, and the move down was about 3 points. And this particular move down, the average close lower, does not include the times when the market moved up. So this is only when the market moved down. Whereas this green line here represents both when the market moved up and when it moved down, and you would net about 2.25 points by selling on option expiration every time, inclusive of losers. But this one's showing you that after bar 1, when the market does move down, it moves down by about an average of 3 points. And then after 2 bars or 1 hour, it moves down by an average of about 4.6 points. And then you can jump up here to bar 4, 5, and 6, and you can see that it tops out at just about 6 points. So going back to the Walmart example, with Walmart, that 2-point target was unrealistic based on market movement. Well, if you have, let's say you have a 10-point target on option expiration, well, I can tell you that that is going to be a very unrealistic target because the market doesn't move down 10 points within the first couple of hours of option expiration. So what you're looking at here is you're looking at something where you want to have a target that is somewhere maybe slightly larger than where it tops out. So the average peak lower here is about 7.5 points, and that means that even though it only closes down by 6 points, the average peak move is about 7.5 points. So if you place a target of about 7 points, you're going to hit that target on average. So that's a pretty good estimate there, and it's all based right there with some easy statistics that provide you valuable information. Now, if this is your first introduction into market movement stats, I'm sure you can see the value. You may not understand everything with regard to these stats just yet, and I don't want to focus on these because they are easy to understand once you begin to expose yourself to them. But this kind of information is very valuable and not available anywhere else. So based on what we just found out, all I'm going to do is I'm going to create a system that sells on the open of option expiration, and it's going to exit 2.5 hours later. And this is from 1997 to 2009, as you can see. And what happens is, just based on selling just one S&P E-mini contract, that strategy makes almost $18,000, has a 70% winning rate. The profit factor is at 2.3, and the drawdown is at $1,600. So your average profit per trade, so inclusive of losers, is about $119. So every time you take this trade over about 100 trades, you're going to make about $119 on average every trade based on this history. Now, what happens when you test that same strategy on from 2009 to 2013? So we're walk forwarding. And I revealed this strategy, by the way, for the first time in 2009. So this is what has happened since I revealed it. When we first found it, as you can see, the winning percentage was almost 70%. The profit factor was again above 2. It's at 2.22. The average profit per trade was at $111, and the drawdown was at only $837.50. So the results were very, very, very similar to our back test from 1997 to 2009. So there's no optimization here going on. We just simply looked at the market movement stats, determined what the probabilities were with market movement, direction, and by how much, and then created an exit that was based on that. And it was very, very straightforward and simple. And that's the kind of statistics and the kind of strategy that you get. So now let me show you how easy it is to create this analysis on quantum charts. So what we have here is a chart of the S&P E-mini. This is a 30-minute bar chart, and it's going from 2009 to October 1st of 2013. And what you want to do, anytime you begin with quantum charts, all you have to do is click on a bar. So we'll just click on a bar, and when you click on that bar, it will instantly provide you all of the true conditions that exist for that bar. I'm not going to go over all of these, but it's really fascinating what this does. It analyzes the bar, and it will give you all the true conditions. So the close is less than the previous open, the close is less than the previous high, close is greater than the previous close, etc., etc. And there are a lot of other categories. Again, I'm not going to go over all of these, but it will tell you, for example, high is less than the lowest high of the last 10 bars if you want to go with complex conditions. And it'll give you conditions if you have an indicator on there, and it'll provide all of those. And then it also has like intraday and daily and time frame seasonal, if you will, conditions. So for example, this is on this particular bar, it's day Friday, and it's in September. It's in the third week, and then it comes down here and you have times. This particular bar opens at 7:30 a.m. and closes at 8 a.m. or right before 8 a.m. I should say. So it'll even give you the time of the bar. So what we're wanting to do is we're wanting to find out what the market does on option expiration. So all we do is we click on the day of week and which week it is, and then the time. Those are the three things. And we just drag them into the strategy box, and they'll always go right under the and, so it's very, very simple. And if we want to change any of these, then all we have to do is click on and change it. So let's say we drug in there a condition that says day of week is Monday. Well, all you have to do is go over here and change that, and you can change it to Friday. On here, we want time is 8 a.m., and the reason we want time is 8 a.m. is because the next bar is 8:30. And the 8:30 bar is when the S&P E-mini opens based on Central Time. So we type in 8 a.m., it changes it immediately, and then we hit apply. And it's as simple as that. And once you hit apply, then it goes back and it finds all of the occurrences that meet these requirements. It highlights them, as you can see here, and then it provides the market movement analysis, just as we were looking at before. So here's the table, and you can see here that the close higher stats are at the top and the close lower stats are at the bottom. You can see 71% of the time the market moved down by an average of 3 points. You remember these stats, exactly what I showed you. And then you can drag in the exit time into the exit section, and we have time is 10:30, and then we get out at market. And when that happens, it goes to the performance, and you can see what we showed you earlier with this particular strategy. And then it will highlight the entire trade for you. So we entered, so for example, the last trade, which was on 9/20, just last month, enter at 8:30 a.m. We exit on the open of the 11 o'clock bar, and that's that. That's how easy it is to create a strategy in quantum charts. You can only imagine what you can do with quantum charts from this point on. Not only with strategies in general, but with just this one particular strategy. You can use different conditions, you can change up the time frames, you can use different combinations of conditions, price action conditions, you can throw in some indicator conditions in there. But just to give you an example of how easy it is to alter, to customize, to test, and to try out different things, I want to show you just one condition that we added to this. And that condition only requires that the close of the 30-minute bar prior to the official exchange open, which is 8:30 a.m. Central Time, so the close of the 30-minute bar prior to that was higher. That's all that we require. And we added that condition into the group. And here are the market movement stats that occurred by adding that one simple condition. You can see that instead of the market being down only 71% of the time, the first 30 minutes of the day, when that previous bar close is greater, well, then the first 30 minutes of the day is down 80% of the time. And you can see that the average move down, or the average profit available to you, inclusive of losses, goes from less than 2 points during the first 30 minutes to over 2 points, and then it maxes out, instead of at 2.25 points, it maxes out at over 3.25 points. So just by adding that one simple condition, we enhance the market movement stats tremendously. So now we know that this is probably going to be a better trade. So what we do is we applied the same exit, and with that exit from 1997 to 2009, the net profit was a little bit lower, but it was on almost half the trades. So the net profit was 14,000, and the largest drawdown dropped to 762. The winning percentage was at 75%, and the average profit per trade instead of 119 was at 166. And then look at this profit factor. It went from 2.3 to 4.79. So just by adding that one condition, and it just gets fun at this point, because you just start trying different ideas that you could never ever do on any other platform, and the results and the feedback is instantaneous. We applied that same strategy to the 2009 to 2013 chart, and look what happened. The net profit was 6,100 instead of 5,800. The winning percentage increased from our test period to 80%. And the profit factor, look at this profit factor at 6.27, almost 6.27. So here again, the average profit per trade almost doubled to $204 instead of $111. So using that one condition really enhances this strategy. So you can do this really quickly all through the drag and drop process. And when you find a strategy that you're wanting to trade, all you have to do to have it automatically trade in your account is go from test mode to live mode in QC, then click on the green arrow button, and that strategy will now automatically take those trades in your account at IB, or Interactive Brokers. That's where Quantum Charts is hooked up to Interactive Brokers as a live data and live execution. So if you have an account at Interactive Brokers, you can use Quantum Charts to automatically execute any of the strategies that you create, or any of the strategies that we provide you. And we do provide you with many starting strategies. So let me show you what that looks like. So here's Quantum Charts Live, and we do all of our back testing, our strategy creation, our analysis. We do all that in the test mode. So it's in test mode, and all we have to do to make this live mode is click on the live mode, and we are now in live mode. Now this grays out the strategy so that while in live mode you cannot make any changes to the strategy. It's just a protection feature. But all you do is click on the run button. It's going to ask if you're sure. You say yes. And then this red box appears that shows that it's live. So if this red box is appearing, this strategy is now live and it's trading in your account, or it will trade the next time a signal occurs in your account. And it's literally as simple as that. No other trading platform in the industry even comes close to being able to literally doing an analysis, creating a strategy, and then turning it on live in your account literally in minutes. This is a very, very powerful program. We've only just begun to scratch the surface, and I've only shown you a very simple strategy, which you still cannot do in any other trading platform unless you're a programmer. But I've shown you a very simple strategy. But with Quantum Charts, you can actually create very complex strategies all through the drag and drop. I'm going to give you a couple of examples of some strategies that come with Quantum Charts. For example, there's the pre-option expiration trade. What happens before option expiration? And it's an interesting strategy. Then, of course, you have the option expiration. And you have then the last trading day, and then you have something that's called Old Faithful. And again, these are free when you subscribe to Quantum Charts. Here's a couple of other different types of trades. There's a May Coffee trade, an inside bar trading system, a Best Buy trade, and a Monday special. So you can see that the possibilities are endless with Quantum Charts, and we certainly will help you get started with those. But as much as Quantum Charts can do, we have only begun to scratch the surface of what we have planned for Quantum Charts. And what we have planned in the future is equally impressive. So if you like what we're doing, if you can see the value of Quantum Charts, then you can help us in two different ways. The first is to show this video to other traders. Post it on message boards, send it in emails, however you can get the word out and help us to gain some exposure, we would greatly appreciate it. And then number 2, become a subscriber. The strategy I just showed you would have more than paid for a monthly subscription alone, and it's just one very simple little strategy of many that are available. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and we look forward to any questions or comments that you have with regarding quantum charts. There should be a spot right on this page where you can contact us. Please do so. We would love to hear from you. Thank you again.